this is, I think, very useful for hackers. Like if you're building a smart contract that needs an admin or needs some upgradability, but you want a lot of people to build on the smart contract, you probably want that contract to be neutral and kind of controlled by a lot of stakeholders. And that's a really good use case for a DAO, because the on-chain parts of the DAO can directly interoperate with that smart contract. Maybe it's a protocol, maybe it's a shared treasury, maybe it's a piece of infrastructure like a bridge or a roll-up. But when you're building something that is that widely used and that important, a DAO is a great pattern, because the people who are building on top of your contract can understand and see the process and trust the neutrality of the piece of infrastructure that they want to build on top of. So I'll talk a little bit about what the plan is, and then we will demonstrate it live, hopefully, with our Wi-Fi. But the first step is start with a standard Gnosis safe, and then we'll use a Zodiac module to connect that safe to a governor, and then we can distribute control of that. The governor is controlled by token voting, so we'll distribute those tokens to anyone who wants some, and then we will all collectively control the safe. So here's a little picture. We're going to start with a standard Gnosis safe. One important thing to note about Gnosis safe is there's really more than one part, right? There's the control, the multi-sig owners who control the safe, and then there's the account itself. Maybe it holds assets, or maybe it's the admin of another smart contract. And then using Zodiac, we will be able to add a module, a second control portion, and we'll use a governor for that. And the governor is controlled by tokens, so we sort of have this bootstrapping problem that we will solve by putting the tokens in the safe, and then we will be able to distribute those tokens from the safe to all of us, and then we will all control the safe. So that's this last step. We'll have to airdrop the tokens to get them out of the safes account and put them in all of our hands so that we can all collectively control this DAO with these contracts. So if you want to take part in the airdrop part of this demo, you can scan this QR code and add your address to the form, and we will, about halfway through this demo, airdrop the tokens to all of us, and we can do some on-chain DAO voting. So I'll give you all a second to grab the QR code if you want. I'm also going to show this slide again in a few minutes. So if you are struggling to connect to Wi-Fi, you have a few minutes to try to get it hooked up. And then I'll hand it off to Nathan here, who will walk us through the demo.
Thanks, Rev. So one of the things that we really wanted to do here was to show that this is no code and kind of bring the point across that it's really easy. Show of hands, how many people are in a DAO? Almost everybody. So DAOs traditionally would require maybe knowing how to deploy smart contracts, maybe knowing how to configure them in pretty esoteric ways, and understanding a lot about governance. And not that those things go away. It's important to understand some core principles of democracy, like voting thresholds and quorums and delays and time, so that people have time to vote or that things can't go wrong. But building the Zodiac standard, as Raf said, it's making use of tools that already exist, which a lot of people already have a safe with assets in it. So you get this nice stepped progression from starting off with people coming together with assets and collecting together, maybe building something cool together. And maybe it's only a small set of people, and then that small set of people decides that they don't want to be in control of it anymore, as I think most good organizations would do, and they want to give the control to the users or the people that are developing that application. So the Zodiac way is to then hook up a module to the safe, and we're going to try and do that. So we call Zodiac this open standard. Everybody is welcome to come and contribute to this idea of progressive decentralization. And yeah, go ahead. And then so this is, that's the first step, would to be, gather some people together, get a safe together. We really want to demo this live. We're going to do the best that we can. It is no code, so we can't really just sit here and code locally for a while. We wanted to really try to demonstrate how the safe was going to be able to boot up this module very quickly and easily, and start to give control of this organization off to your user base. So it looks like you're there. So if you want to, maybe go ahead and try clicking on apps. Hey, it's kind of loading. We don't need images, that's fine. Zodiac, there you go. And so this is how you get into the application suite that we built with Zodiac. And you'll see a lot of stuff there, but the one that we're really interested in is that one on the far right, bottom left, the governance module. And so the first step is, you're going to want some way for your community to vote, and you can either take an ERC20 token that you have, and if it works with OpenZeppelin's standard of governance, or if it's a compound style type of token, then you can go ahead and just throw that in there. But we're going to boot up our own ERC20 token and call it some nice things like ETHDenver. The voting delay, we're going to set that to 0. We're going to try and make this as easy as possible, but that delay would be how long it would take before voting can start. And then how long people have to vote, we're going to set it to 25 blocks, try and make it as short as possible to get this done in time. And the proposal thresholds, we'll go ahead and make that 0. And the quorum percent, go ahead and set that to 1. So that way you can distribute some tokens to yourself and get that passed. Then you go ahead and just click submit. There's a little review screen. And this is going to send a hopefully nice bundled transaction off. We have a 1 of 2 signer safe, so it should automatically execute. If not, you may need to go to the transaction list and execute it yourself. So if the Gurley network is kind to us, it will boot up the Zodiac OpenZeppelin governance module. I think what I find really cool about this is all the different organizations working together. So you've heard SAFE, you've heard OpenZeppelin, and soon you'll hear Tally, and you've heard Gnosis Guild and Zodiac. So we've got 4 organizations working together. So Raf's going to grab the token. So he can grab the governance module that he can later then load into Tally. But you probably want to do the token first, right? So I don't know if it will refresh. So go ahead and scroll down the list and look for token. Yep, and so that's the token that got automatically deployed. Then go ahead and go back to the Gnosis safe so you can send some out to yourself. Yeah. So safe in the top left. That'll work. Cool. And then, new transaction. I'm not sure if you have the ABI for the ERC20 votes token. Okay, so that's going to make this a little bit more challenging. I have it on my computer. Let me see real quick if a miracle happened in some internet. Yeah, Etherscan. That should work.
So we are going to Etherscan to grab the ABI. We're going to go to Goerli Etherscan because Zodiac did verify our contract on Goerli Etherscan. And then we will pull the ABI, which we need for the next step. Grab the token address here and look it up on Goerli and download the ABI. Here's the contract. Do I need an ABI as a file, or will I be able to just copy it?
If you have the JSON,
great. I will copy
that
the
should,
ABI.
yep, that should do. You don't need the file, right?
Then we will go back to our safe here.
Perfect.
We'll pick contract interaction. We're waiting on our Wi-Fi, but it is working, which is great.
Looks like we're getting a little lucky. I like it.
Yeah.
And then the token address.
Grab the token address from Zodiac, the Zodiac module, paste it in here. Oops, I did not grab it. Try again.
It's quite the token address.
Great. Oh, we lost the ABI. Be right back.
And then after this, we'll be able to mint a treasury to the DAO. So this is probably the first step that you would do. You would take your freshly created token and then make like a total supply throw that onto your safe, and now your safe is going to have a total supply of however many tokens you want to issue out to your communities.
Let's do.
And then maybe send it to the safe if you have.
10, how many do you want? We need 10 to the 18th. That's one. So we want like 6 more than that. Like make a million.
Yeah, a million would be good.
Oh, it didn't print that out. All right, 16 zeros. Here we go.
There we go. Count out loud.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This is coding. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
And if it comes out as 10 million or a billion, it's fine.
So we will send this transaction to our safe, because the safe is controlled by the governor, but it's also still controlled by the multisig. So both of them can make transactions on this safe, which is very useful for bootstrapping this upgrade process.
Yeah, and then the next step would be if anybody did sign up on that CSV and wanted to be a part of the DAO, we would be able to drop those to you.
Awesome. So we got some addresses here.
Cool.
And I will export them as a CSV. So we don't need these first two addresses.
And if you have testnet Ether, you'll be able to vote on the proposal as well. And if not, we can, if we've got enough time, we can send you some testnet Ether as well.
Awesome.
I think I have enough internet to possibly get some to you.
Great. So we want to export this. We're making a CSV to use this CSV airdrop app.
Which is another component of the Gnosis Safe. So the Safe team created a module that allows you to airdrop tokens directly owned by a safe. And also, since there's only 2 addresses, we could just input
That's
those.
true.
Yeah, it'll be probably as easy.
Good point. But I did want to go through the motions. So now we can go to this another safe app. This is what it looks like. You can get to it from, or I'll show you from the main view. We start at safe. We go to apps. We look for the CSV app, and it is right here. We can open it up and do a CSV airdrop from that file we just grabbed. We'll grab it from the command line.
Yeah, and the formatting, if you look at the CSV application, it'll show you what you need to do, just token name. If there's no token name, it'll assume the main network token like Ether.
So here is our CSV. We're going to copy the text from the file to our app. We're going to check the formatting. Oh, validation told us it did not validate because, what is it complaining about? Insufficient balance. Because
I think there's also like an ENS name in there potentially.
Oh yeah, we need an address here. So we can go look up this ENS name and substitute the address. Maybe on Etherscan.
That might be it.
Results to this address. We'll just sub it in quickly. And now validation still complaining. Maybe I don't have enough balance here.
And that's a correct token address. Let me see if I have the ability to.
Oh, that is the wrong token address. Yeah, let's use our the token address that we just created. So we paste our token address into our CSV. So we're now telling the safe app that we want to airdrop this ERC20 token to these 2 addresses here. And what should the ID column be?
I believe you can leave that off. You can go ahead and
Okay.
delete that. So the number of tokens afterwards would be all you need.
Okay. No.
Are you adding the number of tokens to be transferred? Looks like there's 0 at the end. Yeah, so maybe change that 0 to like 10,000 or so. So go ahead and you see how it says after address comma 0 comma 1? Yeah, so that's 0. Replace that with 10K. Perfect.
Looks like we still have one more validation error to work through.
Maybe that trailing comma.
Oh, I see the problem. Well, I don't know if the validation's not working or it's the Wi-Fi that's struggling, but we can skip to the next step, which is adding the DAO to Tally.
Yes, yes. So you now have everything on chain, and Tally will be able to give you the nice front end to interact with all the on-chain components.
So we're introducing a new character now, and that's Tally. So we have, now that we've deployed a governor contract that controls our safe, we would like a user interface for it. So that's where Tally comes in. So Tally is a tool for interacting with these governor DAOs. The type of contract that we deployed is a governor contract. And we can use Tally to see what's going on in this governor contract, create transactions, pass proposals, and generally interact with the DAO that we just created. So what we want to do now is tell Tally about the new DAO contracts that we deployed so that Tally can go and index them and create a front end for us. So we can name our DAO whatever we want, and then add the contracts that we just created on Zodiac to Tally. So we will grab the governor address from the Zodiac module here. We'll input it to Tally. And we will, in this case, we deployed on the Goerli testnet. And we will tell Tally to index it. We'll see if Tally can find this contract. Contract found.
That's great. We found our contract.
It's good. It's there. It's real. And then we, looks like I'm fighting my Wi-Fi again here. We need a connect wallet. Oh, it is connected. We also need to tell Tally about the token that we just created. So we'll go back here to the token in the Zodiac module. And we will tell Tally that we added this token. And we also need to tell Tally when this token was created. So we will go back to Etherscan and find out which transaction created the token. This transaction was at this block here, 858.709. So we'll copy that block height into Tally, so it's easier for Tally to index. And then we fight with our Wi-Fi a little bit. Let me see if I can disconnect my wallet because it doesn't seem to be connected.
Might have been cool to set up a mesh network. We could all hop on locally.
All right, we connected our wallet. We'll sign in. We'll wait a second for the Wi-Fi, but it is working. And we'll sign in with Ethereum to Tally. And now, I think we're signed in. We'll wait a little while longer. We have a little bit of latency on our Wi-Fi, but it is happening. Now we can add our governor to Tally, and Tally's indexer is going to pull in all of the on-chain information about this DAO that we just created with Zodiac.
And that's the cool part. If anybody's ever voted like on Uniswap or any of those big DeFi DAOs, and now you have that same front end, and the Gnosis Safe is sitting there holding your assets in the background. Sorry, Safe Global, no longer Gnosis Safe.
So now that we'll go back to the picture to just talk about what we had just done. So we went through all of these steps here to put the DAO together, and we're now in this setup. We've got a multisig that still controls the safe. We could in the future decide to remove it if we want to go fully decentralized. We also have this governor that controls the same safe from Tally, and the airdrop, if it had worked, we would have distributed the tokens and control of the DAO to all of the people who dropped their address on that document.
Yeah, one of the cool transactions, so we were going to create a proposal, and the proposal would have been voted on by everybody, and one of the cool proposals could be remove all owners from the safe, and then it's fully trustless at that point.
Yep, so the steps that you can do after the token distribution are delegate your vote either to yourself or to somebody else, and then you can create proposals to do just that. So to kind of wrap up a little bit with what we did and why, we, as you know, replaced the multisig part of the safe with a on-chain governor, but safe is still there. If we think about like how safe is turning into an account abstraction protocol, this is kind of account abstraction in practice. The Zodiac tools helped us upgrade the permissions around the account in place, but the account itself, it's the same account, it holds all the same assets that it did at the beginning. It has all the same permissions or admin rights that it did at the beginning. And this is one of the, I think, really exciting things enabled by this big idea about account abstraction. And it's, I think, very useful in practice for DAOs because the needs of a DAO change over time. And a lot of DAOs want to be more decentralized over time. And this is a great tool to do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's very like evolutionary. Like exactly, you can start off with what would be your simple assets in a MetaMask wallet, and then realize you want to put that and create an entire like multi-user organization, and then to hundreds to thousands of people controlled organization, and then maybe one day revert it back, and then go back again. So you can spend 100 years evolving one private key, public key pair.
Great. Well, thanks everyone. Appreciate you coming and talking through this demo with us. We will be around this weekend. We have bounties for building on Tally's new API. If you are interested, come find me afterward, and I can tell you a little bit more about that. And
I'll be around somewhere. Safe has a booth. I'll be hanging around there for a bit as well. But if anybody wants to join the Gnosis Guild Discord, that's a great place to get a hold of anybody if they're trying to figure out how to do these things. And I think these slides are also going to be available at tally.xyz.
Yeah, right here.
Static, yes.
Static.tally.xyz/ ETHDenver-2023 if you want to see the slides in action. And I think that's all we had. So happy to take any quick questions because I think we have a few minutes left. But otherwise, thank you so much for coming.